Hey everyone, Courtney here from How to Loom Your Dragon. Welcome back to Clay's tutorial. So in this tutorial we will be doing the stomach and attaching it to him. So you should have your guy pretty much all wired up and ready to have his stomach on if you wire your things. I always recommend you wire them, if not then oh well. Okay, so let's do his stomach now. I'm using pretty much all yellow except for a couple of the edge bands will be caramel. Okay, so just follow me as I go. Alright, this is going to have to be done in about 6 parts, okay? Because we are only using one loom, so that makes things more complicated. But hopefully your guy looks pretty cool. Oops. Hold on one second. Just want to make sure my okay. Make sure my computer is going to record without any issues. Okay, so I'm going to be taking yellow bands and stretching them 2 at a time across like this. And here I'm taking 2 and just putting them like that. Okay. I'm going to drop 2 there, and here, and here, and here, and there. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take clay, and we're going to be attaching his chin, okay? So you can kind of twist his head. It doesn't matter really how you attach it. Like you can twist the head under or over, it doesn't matter. As long as we go in order here. Okay, so I'm just going to wrap the first and second set. So the middle set is going around this peg. Middle set here and edge set here. The other set we're not attaching to anything yet. Okay. Now I'm going to take caramel bands. Oops, that one's a little stretched out. You don't want them to be stretched out, really. Okay, like that. And then yellow bands, so single yellow bands. We're going to go... Oh, you know what? We want to put 2 horizontals here as well. Okay, and 2 bands here. Okay? Try not to forget that. Alright, and anyway. Okay, just like that. Okay, so now I'm going to begin to loom this. Okay, sometimes they fall off, you just gotta put them back on. Okay, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take 2 yellow bands and I'm going to bring them through the end and reclaim, and then I'm going to tie off with any color, okay? Any color at all. Right, same thing in the middle. So take 2 bands, pull through. And same thing here. So 2 bands through all of these. Even the loose edge bands, and tie off. Okay. Okay, so pull that off. Alright, now we will be doing the second part of that section. Alright, so we're taking yellow, alright, lift these 2 up and place these 2 down first, then replace this back on there. Alright. Like that. Okay, so now we're going to take our guy, and again I'm going to twist his head, and we're going to go through this way. The remaining loose end here, okay, we're going to attach that to here. Okay. Now from the piece we already made, we are going to, we can pull off this tying band. If it's confusing you, you can just pull that off. Alright, we're going to take the 2 first bands, okay, wrap them around here, and then you're going to take a caramel band and put it right on there. Okay, then you're going to loop up right over that. Okay, we'll do the next set. Take a caramel band and loop right up. Okay, same thing here. Okay, I'm going to lift him up a little bit, not too much though. Okay. Alright, next we're going to take these 2 and wrap them around both. Okay, so in order, put a caramel band here, and then we want to dig down and loop those 2. one more caramel band here and loop, oops, loop that. Okay, loop up here, here. I'm going to lift them up a little more. Now we're going to move to yellow. Oops, just on that one though. Okay, and again, we're taking 2 yellow bands, pulling them through, reclaiming, and tying off. Same thing here, take 2 yellow bands through there, and pull this guy through, tie off. Roar. Cool. He's going to be really cute when he's done, guys. Alright, so now I can pull off these tying bands around the chin, or the jaw. Okay. Alright. And I'm going to also pull out the caramel bands toward the edge, so they're all toward the edge. Okay, for now. Alright. Now we're going to work on the next part. So. Alright, now. So I'm going to do this first. Alright, yellow. Just bear with me on this part. This part, I just have to think a lot while I do it, so. Ugh. Okay. Now I'm going to take 2 bands here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to lift up these two and drop 2 bands right there and replace them like that. And I'm going to take 2 bands here. And then I'm going to drop 2 on top like that. 2 here. 2 here. 2 here. 2 here. 2 here. 2 here. Now I'm going to take a single band, wrap it twice around like that. Another here. And another here. Another here. Another here. Another here. Alright, cool. Okay. Now, take my guy, turn him upside down, and we're going to attach this side, okay? Actually, sorry, that was facing the wrong way. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to attach, I'm going to go through these loops and pull off the tying band. And wrap them there. Same thing here. And same thing here. Okay, I'll lift up top 2 loops of each set, place 2 horizontal bands on, then take a yellow and wrap. Okay, yeah, sorry, wrap one twice around, like that, and then place one here. And then I'm going to replace the loops back over. Okay, try not to get this band tangled in there. Okay. Now, I'm going to put my loose bands along here. You can kind of push the bands down on the peg if you need, on the pegs if you need to. Okay. Now, I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to loop up. Oh, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, hold on, undo this. You're gonna be mad at me when I do this to you. Sorry guys, okay. We have to take off these sets because I made them too long. So actually, just take off the top loops and pull off these guys. Okay. Alright. I have to retie these. I'm sorry guys. Maybe I'll try to put a note in the video so that you know not to do what I just did. That's what happens when you're so like into what you're doing that you just totally mess up. Okay. This is just supposed to be 2 lengths shorter. This, okay, so, sorry. Okay, so, alright, so it should look like this. Hopefully, I put a note in the video, told you to skip ahead to this point, so you knew not to mess up. Okay. Alright, and this part here has 2 bands at the bottom, then this regular 2 bands going down, then the horizontal, and then 2 bands just kind of sitting there at the top. Alright. I hope you don't hate me, guys. Okay. I'm going to go through the first set here on this side. Pull off the tying band. And wrap around this peg. Go through the middle set. Wrap around this peg. And go through this third set. Wrap around this peg. Okay, anyway. So, now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift up these two, and these two, and I'm going to take 2 horizontal bands across. Okay. And I'm going to put one here. I'm going to replace that set over that. And I can also replace the middle set. And then I just want to take this band and wrap it twice around this peg and replace that. Okay. Alright, so by the way, these pegs all have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 all have a band wrapped twice around on top. Okay? Just so you know. Alright, now I'm going to begin looping. And these are regular bands, not double looped, okay? I'm so mad at myself for messing up before, but you know what? Oh well. Alright, just take the band and tie off this end. Okay. And we're going to go up this part. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these 2 bands at the very bottom with my finger, grab them with my hook through the peg, like that, and then I'm going to simply do a slip knot there. Like that. Okay. Okay. So it should look like this. Okay. Okay. Alright, now we're going to do the other half. Oh, and take off these two. And before I mess up again. Gosh, that was just awful. That was just uncool when that happened. Okie dokie. Now, we're going to take our guy, and what I'm going to do is, okay, we're going to we're going to wrap these two loose ends around these two pegs here, and then that middle one, actually what we got to do is this. This is what we have to do. Okay. So hold your thing so all your rows like line up evenly. What we have to do is we have to go through this set here. Okay, so the middle column, like right here, we're going to take two bands and we're going to pull them through. Right, is that the right one? That one, yeah. And then bring them up to here, is that right? Yeah, so we have an extra set here. And then I'm going to tie it off because I actually forgot to tie off an extra set on there earlier. So, okay, so now we have 3 loose ends. So just make it so you get like 3 loose ends. Okay, so I'm going to fix that because I'm a perfectionist. So you want to make yourself 3 loose ends that are even. Go in here and this. Okay. I went through the right set. I just didn't go through the other horizontal bands. Both sets of horizontal bands. So. Okay. So make yourself 3 loose ends there. Okay. Now we are going to attach the 3 loose ends to those 3 pegs, okay? So go through this one first, the one we just made. That's gonna go right here. Okay, push down. Go through this second one. And the third. Okay, what I'm going to do now is alright, okay. We want to lift up the top 2 bands of each set. Okay. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring over, where is it? Let me just do a quick count of something here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. The first set of the little that band we doubled on the other side, okay, this guy. We're going to wrap that around this bottom peg. Okay? Then I'm going to take 2 yellow bands and I'm going to stretch them all the way across like that, and then I'm going to take 1 yellow band and rest it right here. Then I'm going to replace the loops on all the pegs. Careful not to get this guy tangled up in there. Okay, just like that. Whew. Alright, then I'm going to go in and grab the next doubled wrap around there. This guy gets wrapped around here. Okay, take 2 bands, stretch across. 2 more, stretch across. Okay, like that. Dig down and loop up. Okay, once we've done that, we can lift him up like 1 set. Okay, not much. Okay. Sorry, I have to think a lot during this part because it takes a lot of mental problem-solving skills, I guess you could say. Now this should be, okay, now this, alright, we're just gonna wrap. Okay, we're gonna undo, put our hook through the loops and undo the tying band of this guy, and we're gonna wrap the bottom 2 loops around this peg, and then take those 2 horizontals and stretch them. Well, technically it should just be 1. I think I might just get rid of those 2 horizontal bands. Yeah, let's just scratch those 2. Pull them off. Anyway, put those there. And then we want to lift up these and place 2 bands across here and put 1 here. And then replace this guy and loop up. Hopefully that was right. Alright, I'm going to lift him up a tiny bit more. Okay. Three. Yeah, okay. Now, this next guy here, these guys I'm going to wrap around this guy. And then I'm going to put 2 bands here and 1 band here. Okay. This is my first time doing this technique like this, so just bear with me, okay? These 2 guys go around this guy, and then we put 2 here and 1 here. Might do the rest of the dragons on double looms, I'm not really sure. Like, this is just ridiculous how difficult I've made this. On the process of trying to make things easy for people, I just end up making it more difficult. Oh well, it's the fun of it, I guess. The challenge. Okay. And this guy here, we gotta wrap him here. And we gotta take 2 guys here and 1 here. Okay, and then we can loop up the rest of the way. Alright, tie off these 2 ends here. Hopefully this looks decent and not completely messed up. Okay, cool. It actually worked out pretty nicely. Okay. Whoa, that was lucky. Alright, cool. So now, 2 more sections to do, but they're easier. So, no worries. Okay. This dragon is supposed to be kind of hunky looking, so the stomach is kind of big. Alrighty. 1. Cool. Horizontals. 2 at a time. Luckily now the stomach gets easier and easier at this point. Okay, you know what, this one, let's double loop this guy. And we'll double loop the next guy too. And we'll double loop the rest, going the rest of the way up. Cool. Now take your stomach. And we want to attach the 3 ends to these 3 pegs, okay? These are very thick ends here, so you just want to make sure you go through all the loops before you take that tying band off. Okay, I missed a loop, but I can go back and fetch it. Okay. Alright. Love to make things difficult for myself, and for all of you as well. Alright, and this end is also a thick end. This is probably the hardest tutorial I've ever done, just because it's like single loom for something that actually should take like 3 looms. Why am I so crazy? Okay, lift up the top 4 loops of this set, the top 2 loops of this set, and the top 4 loops of this set. Take 2 yellow bands here, and take 2 loose bands for the edge, and replace the 4 loops on top of this peg. 2 loops on top of this peg, and 4 loops on top of this peg. Alright, perfect. Now, like before, we're just going to be putting the loose bands on the edge as we loop up. Put one here and loop up one more time. Okay, let's do this side. Oops, that band is going to come off. Yeah, I mean, it's going to break, so I'm going to replace it with one that's not going to break. And the reason I'm making the stomach so long is because I want to extend it to the tail. That way the tail doesn't look flat, because in a lot of my projects the tail ends up looking flat because I don't extend the stomach past like the rear end area. So I'm trying something new here by making it a little longer. So hopefully you will like that. Oops. Tie off these ends, and then we only have one section left, and then we can attach everything. Yay! Okay. Alright. Just moving all my edge bands to the edge. Okay. This guy. Alright, so it looks like this. Okay, one more section and then we can attach it. This is a small section though, it shouldn't take you that long. Alright. Take 2 bands here. 2 here, 2 here. Wait a second. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're gonna put 2 here as well, and then 2 here. Like that. Perfect. Okay, and then we're going to take 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, and 2 here. And I'm going to double loop across here and across here. Okay, now you're going to take your guy and you're going to attach the 2 ends of the stomach onto those 2 pegs, but you want to take off the tying bands as usual. Okay, lift up the top 2 loops of each set and put your double looped yellow band on them. And put a band here and here. Oops. It's a little tricky. Wrap that band, that's set back over there. Okay. You don't want this loose band to get in the way, and you don't want to tangle that up in there. Okay. I'm going to put 2 bands on this peg, okay? Okay, and I'm going to do 2 on each of these going up. Like that. Okay, we're going to tie off the end with 2 yellow bands. We're going to pull that off. Okay, I'm going to move all my junk out of the way, so give me a sec so that I can do this without... Alright, so... Now, you don't need your loom. You do need your fiber fill, though, okay? Alright, we're going to attach the stomach. Okay. It's still going. Okay, good. Alright, so what I'm going to do... Fix this spot there. Okay. So, you lay it on, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn him right side up, and I'm going to go through this set of cocoa from the top. So go through all 4, looks like 4 bands. Okay, and then you're going to pull the first loose caramel band from the stomach through that. Then you're going to go to the next set on the edge, which is the caramel, and you're going to pull the next band through that, plus the first band. Alright, so we're just going in order, starting on this side. Only going through the edge sets, okay? And you want to go from the top, okay? This is why we did caramel here. See, aren't I smart? Caramel on the edge. Yes, Courtney, you're the smartest person ever. Alright, now we've moved the yellow. So you shouldn't really need to watch me too much for this part until you reach the end. Unless you've done videos of mine before. When you reach the foot part, you can kind of just... Oops, looks like I missed the right set. Okay, sorry. Oops. Ah! Oh no, my thing is coming apart. Hold on. Hold on, hold on. Okay. So anyway, you want to lift the leg up and you want to continue going along the edge, okay? Okay, so just go along the edge. Don't miss any sets and don't miss any bands either. You just gotta do your best as you go by where the back leg is. think I went through the horizontal bands instead of. Yeah, so for this area back here, I'm just going to go from the bottom, just because I can't see with the legs in the way. And then once you pass it, you can move back up to the top of the next set. Now as you reach the tip of the tail, just use your judgment. You can move to the side sets or the bottom sets instead of the top of the sets. Okay. If you think it'll look better that way. Okay, now here where you have 2 on each thing, you want to pull 1 to each side. So I'm just going to do that now. When I have 2 loose bands plus the tying bands, I'm just going to move to the side, and then the bottom of the set. And then final tie band goes through there. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just stick a pencil through here to keep it from coming apart. And now as we do the other side, we will be stuffing him. Okay, so the other side is exactly the same as the side we just did. Okay, before we go too far, I'm getting too excited here. We gotta stuff them up. So just take some fiberfill. Stick it into him. Okay. You want his chest area to be pretty tough looking and bulky because, you know, he is kind of a tough looking dude. The MudWing. Bulky guy. Let's see. He's coming to life now. Almost there. Okay, maybe I'll put a little more stuffing in him here. Really fill his stomach cavity good. Okay. Okay. Continuing. Oops. Oops. Grabbed the wrong one there. There we go. Okay, now this next one, I'm going to go through the side of the set. And then the bottom here. Bottom here as well. Yay! So you should pretty much end the same spot on the one side as the other side if you did it right. If it's a little off, don't freak out. It's not a huge deal. And I'm going to take both of those loose bands in my fingers. I'm going to take my hook and I'm going to go into the tail and come out near where those bands are. Whoops. Don't let go like I just did. You're going to grab them both on your hook. And you want to pull them in and C-clip. And then stick that back in there. And then you can kind of adjust by just sticking some more stuffing in where you need it. Okay, just try not to overstretch the bands on the edge. And there is Clay, your MudWing. Okay, you can kind of fix his arms so he is not going crazy. You can bend his wings, okay. His knees bend forward and then his feet, it's kind of weird looking, right? His feet go down like that. I will take the laptop down and show you so you can see what I mean. Bend, knees bend forward, foot bends back, and front legs bend back. Ah, he's so cool! Alright, I'm going to show you what he looks like. So, here he is. Yay! Again, this is why I like to wire my things, because they look so much better when they're wired up. Okay. Alright, there's Clay, your MudWing, from the first Wings of Fire book. Okay? And in the book here, I mean on the, well, you can kind of fold his wings too if you want to. So you kind of just have fun with, if you put wire up, you know, just kind of have fun posing him the way you want him to look. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed. I know this was very hard, especially for a one loom tutorial. But I think you all probably did a wonderful job. Sorry for any errors I made in the video. Forgive me. Definitely show me pictures of this guy on Instagram and Facebook, and also follow me on Twitter and check out my Etsy shop in the description. Okay everyone. Alright, I hope that you enjoyed. And Clay, say goodbye to everyone. Rawr. Goodbye. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Enjoy your MudWing.